All right, Washington State head baseball coach Brian Green joins us now. Coach, we'll open it up for questions. First question is going to be Jamie Vinnick. Go ahead, Jamie.
Hey, Skip, how you doing?
Good, Jamie. How are you?
Doing well. Your first series against Washington this weekend, obviously, the big rivalry between the two teams. How excited are you to get a chance to play UW this weekend?
First Apple Cup, so yeah, I'm excited about it. It'll be, I'm sure it'll be a really exciting and cool opportunity. I know it means a lot to everybody at Washington State, and certainly means a lot to us. So I know the kids are jacked. I'm sure the Huskies are jacked, and it should be fun.
You obviously have a bit of a unique series with the Thursday, Friday, Saturday situation rather than the usual Friday to Sunday. Does it change your rotation at all, or do you just switch the Sunday guy to Thursday?
You know, we're in a fortunate spot, Jamie, just in terms of not being able to play last week. So we were able to take that off and set it. So, you know, that extra day, we're still in the same situation with Brandon and Zane, and we'll still TBA and keep that thing going. So that worked out as a positive for us, that nobody has to go on short or have to adjust anything.
And just to clarify, Brandon and Zane will go Friday, Saturday, and tomorrow's TBA?
Or no, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, Brandon tomorrow and Zane Friday and Saturday will be TBA.
Oh,
we'll
gotcha. And then
keep the same order.
The usual kind of guys probably in the mix for that TBA, Grant, Dakota, Tyler Hafe, those guys?
Same thing. Yeah, just in terms of where we are and what we have, and we'll see what happens on the weekend in terms of the bullpen and then go into Saturday and see who's freshest and what we can do from there.
Washington's got a pretty good pitching staff. They've done a good job, limiting runs this year when their offense especially has had some struggles. Do you approach it maybe the same way you approach like an Oregon where they have the really good pitching staff, or is it just kind of the same at this point, every team, same thing with, adjustments depending on who you're facing?
Yeah, I think it's just the adjustments and the preparation of who you're facing. Are you getting a breaking ball guy? You're getting a changeup guy? You're getting a velocity guy? And then you hope to use your days of practice entering into that to just get a little more repetition just in terms of whatever those bullets you're going to see. Obviously, Washington's done a really good job on the mound this year. Their pitching staff, like you said, has been really good. If you look at their numbers and their defense, it's been really solid. So we're going to need to make sure that we limit the mistakes. And then offensively, we'll have a nice challenge. They'll go right and they'll go left. And they all kind of do a little bit different stuff in terms of off speed or velocity. And so it'll be a good challenge. And fortunately for us, that we've had days of preparation, and, we should be at a good spot in terms of our preparation. Just come down to like anything: execution, mentality, toughness, and approach.
You guys have had some injuries in the last few weeks. Is there a possibility we see Kyle Russell and Justin Vanderbeek this weekend, or probably not?
No possibility, unfortunately. That one stung a little bit. We were starting to really click offensively, and those guys went down. Feel bad for them. Feel bad for the program, but it's given some other guys an opportunity to shine. And but no, they won't be in this weekend, unfortunately.
So is the plan then probably to go primarily with Gunner and Nate again at those spots?
Gunner and Preston, just depending on the matchup, at second base. And then Nate's done a really good job. He's gotten an opportunity and has been in there, and Stankato's had some spots too. And Keith kind of all along has been in and out of there. So, those guys just get a bigger bit more of an opportunity to get in there.
Talk about Nate a little bit. Primarily used kind of as a defensive replacement in the first part of the season, and then he's really stepped in and really stepped up since Justin went down and has hit the ball well. Have you seen something maybe improve in his swing and in his overall approach, or is it just kind of he's gotten his opportunity and taken advantage of it?
I think more, Jamie, it's just that he's had an opportunity to play. And, it's tough for those guys coming off the bench when you just, you get one at bat here, one at bat there, and it's tough to get in any form of rhythm. And I just think for Nate, he's been able to get into a little bit more of a rhythm. And he's certainly done a good job with his opportunities. He's a really good defender. He can really throw, but happy to see him getting some hits and finding some rhythm. He's been a pretty good player for us.
Awesome. Thanks, Skip. Good luck this week. See you Friday.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Skip, next question is going to be from Theo Lawson, the Spokesman Review. Go ahead, Theo.
Hey, Brian, how are you doing?
Good, Theo. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm actually working on a story on Cody Coleman this weekek, and just wanted to ask you about the season he's had. And he talked yesterday about some strides he's made offensively as far as kind of changing his bat path and then really kind of being able to sit on pitches more than he was the last couple of years. Can you kind of talk about his offensive strides and what he's done, especially this offseason to start hitting 300, and I believe he's at 317 now after the 4-hit game against USC.
Yeah, I mean, Cody's he's a really talented player, and he's always been a good defender, and I think he's found a lot more consistency. He's made some mistakes of late, but I mean, he's been a good player for us. But offensively, to answer your question, I think he's just been a lot more purposeful in practice, just in terms of what he's trying to do. And not as concerned with results in practice of taking a good batting practice or hitting, X amount of line drives. It's really been about trying to hone in on what specifically he needs to do that's going to enable him to carry that into the games. So I think he's used his weeks of preparation to make adjustments like all good hitters do. I think he's used that this year, and that's a maturation process. It's an experience process. And I think it's a player who's, he's been here for 2-3 years, and he's been able to use his experiences, but he's made some stride adjustments. He's made some mechanical adjustments with his path. I mean, he's got sneaky power. He's competitive, and I know he's struck out more than he or we would like for him at that leadoff spot, but he's also scoring a bunch of runs, hitting in front of Manzo, and hasn't stolen the amount of bases that we would probably like him to, or he's capable of, but tough to what Manzo and TP have done and behind him. It's like, you just wait and let's see if these guys can run one out of the yard. But, he's made a lot of consistent quality adjustments. And the cool thing for him is just to see him developing as the season progresses, and to do that in the Pac-12 has been pretty impressive. But there's been some hand path adjustments. There's been some extension adjustments, and then there's been some mental adjustments for him, and always working on approach. But he's changed a lot of little things, and it's always little for good players. It's never nothing major, but he's putting the work in and he's getting paid, and we're happy for him, proud of him. He's been a good player for us.
I know that you've had a long list of great shortstops at places like UCLA and Kentucky and New Mexico State with Crawford and Gonzalez and Ortiz, a handful of other guys. Do you see any similarities between Cody and those guys as far as how they kind of approach the position, or any kind of defensive or offensive similarities you can see?
Yeah, I think the first thing is just the intensity of defensive practice, and Cody likes defense. And if you're going to play shortstop at a high level, you need to enjoy practice, and you need to enjoy getting better and being, not limited, but being really open to throwing at all angles and making difficult plays and enjoying those in practice. But I think the thing about Cody is just that he likes to practice, he likes to practice defense. He doesn't take days off ever. And he takes his work very seriously, but got all the tools. I mean, he can throw it across, he can move laterally, always things to get better at. And those are, things that we'll address going into the summer. Hey, let's try to get better at going to your right, playing through a backhand. Let's get better at that high hop, playing behind it, particularly on the hard turf here in Pullman. Let's get better at on the run with two hands. Let's get better at going to your left and spinning. But I mean, he's got a lot of tools, and he's got a bright future ahead of him. There's no doubt about that.
Does he also maybe kind of set the tone for what you guys do off the field with a kind of a 3.9 GPA setting, kinesiology? I think he's pretty consistent, all academic Pac-12 guy, and really seems to kind of excel in the classroom, and maybe kind of sets the tone for what you guys do academically in the classroom.
Yeah, it's great. And, we got so many good stories, and we have so many good people in this program, but yeah, I mean, he's a guy who off the field does everything right. Nose is always clean, shows up on time every day, very consistent. I mean, he's what you're looking for, just in terms of, you never have to worry when you don't have to worry about your best players showing up every day to work hard and to practice hard and to defend the program and to show up off of the field every day where it's just clean. I mean, he's done a great job. I mean, he exemplifies what we're looking for. He's a good student. We talk about person first, player second. He's one of those guys that exemplifies that. And fortunately for us, we have a lot of those guys. And I think that's why we've been able to show the climb this year of what we're trying to do. If you look at the growth and the progress of the program this year in our first full year together in Pac Play, it's been a lot of players who have been here before and who are just growing up, maturing, changing their bodies, and are excelling off the field. Look at Zane Mills, what he's done in the classroom off of the field from where he was to the semester that he put in. And I know we had a GPA record in the fall, but Colden just, he does things right, and if you do things right off the field, you're probably going to do things right on the field.
Thanks, Brian. Best of luck this weekend.
Thanks, Theo.
All right, Skip. Next question is going to be Scott Hood and Rivals in Seattle Times. Go ahead, Scott.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, Scott.
How you doing?
Doing great, thanks.
Have you spoken with your team at all about what you guys need to do this weekend to get any sort of consideration for the NCAA tournament?
tried to stay away from that. And the reason, Scott, is just, when we're really playing the game the right way, it's about the process and it's about one game at a time. And I know that's cliche, but putting something too big or too much out in front, I think it gets your brain onto the results. Clearly, everybody here knows that it's the Apple Cup. It's a big series. It's a big deal for us. And, we're trying to really keep it really micro, just in terms of, what are the immediate things in front of us that show real progress, real growth. So more important for us, because that's something that's outside of our control. Those are committee decisions. For us, it's about, can we grab a winning season first in 5-6 years? Can we go chase, one of the most or biggest or most wins in Pac-12 play that we've had in a long time? Those are the things that we're really trying to chase. And then at the end of the day, just sit back and see what happens. But we've got a lot in front of us this weekend, aside from the fact of the emotion of just the Apple Cup. And, I'm fortunate that, I was at Kentucky. I was a part of the Louisville, Kentucky thing. I was at UCLA. It was UCLA SC. Those are New Mexico State. They're very fierce rivalries. So this one I know is going to be fun, but we're really trying to keep in one pitch at a time process. And let's go really chase those immediate things that show the growth, and really put a cap on, kind of a finish off to what we've really started here. And that's ascending the program and making sure that we're doing this.
How you've mentioned before how important it was, putting the NCAA tournament aside for a moment. You've spoken about how important it is to finish above 500 since it's been several years since the program has done that. How important of a goal is that in your mind?
It's really important. It validates, it verifies that, we're on the right track. We're doing the right things, the things that we're teaching and the things that we're really putting an emphasis on off of the field, person first, player second. Those things will show up on the field. So for us, this is an opportunity for us to say, look, we came into this thing. This is our first full year together in the Pac. And we talked about a vision of where we want the program to go. You go 9-7 last year in a shortened season, but there's some success there. And then you go into a first full Pac series or year and an opportunity to have a winning season, to get double digits and climb towards 500 in Pac play. It just shows where we're going. And I think those are really the important things of really moving and validating into, where we want to go as a program.
You mentioned the pitching rotation for this weekend. Again, you said TBA for the game 3 starter. How high on your to-do list is it finding a reliable game Sunday starter for next season?
That's it was a great question. It's tough. You go into a weekend, every weekend TBA. You don't see that at the top of the league. So for us, that is priority number one. Get more athletic, get more depth. Any coach can tell you that, but certainly on the mound, just finding more depth and being able to, from a recruiting standpoint, plug all those holes that you need to plug. And as you move into 22, you've got a weekend rotation, you got a Tuesday starter, and you've got 10 bullets, 11 bullets that you feel like you can go into. It's a challenge to do, certainly. But yeah, that as you said, that is priority number one for us in the recruiting process, is to get pitchability, and is to get somebody that can absolutely hone down that third spot, because it's been tough to do. It's challenging on the arms, and the guys have responded, those 6 that we've really used. But yeah, we got to get that number to 10 if we're going to be competitive and who we want to be.
Because we may not talk with you again before after this weekend, how would you assess the 2021 season?
I'm sorry, Scott. I missed you on that last part.
How would you assess the 2021 season overall? Because we may not talk with you again after the series weekend. So I just want to just get your thoughts on how the season has gone.
Yeah, for me, we're energy positive people, and I just look at 2 things. One, from the coaching perspective, I've got a list this long that we keep every week, just in terms of what do we need to address from the 3 pillars of the program, recruit and develop, inspire the community, teach within a system, those 3 things. How are we doing? Are we on track with what we said we were going to do in the interview room? Are we maintaining our integrity or character in terms of this is where we're going? So, are we close? Or are we on the right path? But when we assess the season, I think there's 2 ways to look at it. It's one, certainly if you look at numbers, just in terms of, wins in conference play, road record, offense, scoring runs, those types of things. Those are all really positive. So, you maintain what we're doing in terms of practice and preparation, and we hope to build on those things to get better. I also think from an energy positive perspective, you look at, how many leads did we have in the 7th, 8th, or 9th in pack play, where we may be 15 or 16, 17 wins right now in conference. The way that I look at that is it's a positive, and it's a positive because we're in it and we've had an opportunity to do it. So now we got to find a way to close in on that, change that, adjust that, flip that for next year. And it's recruiting, it's preparation, it's what we're teaching in the fall. So when we look at 2021, what we did this year, there's a lot of positives for us. And we feel really good about where we're going. And I just think that's why going into this final series, what we're talking about is, with hopes that we do lock that Pac-12 tournament in, is, we're in a position this weekend where we would be either in it or playing for it this weekend. And that's where we, step one, expect to be, is to find at least a Pac-12 postseason and then moving into an NC2A postseason. Those are the goals. But a lot of positives, for us. And we're energized about it because we've been able to at least show that there's real progress, there's real growth. And man, we've been in a lot of games, and that's what we're focusing on.
A lot of conferences around the country are playing tournaments this weekend or this week.
Yeah.
Like they're going on. A lot of them are going on right now. I thought the Pac-12 had announced maybe a year or so ago, before you arrived at Washington State, that they were going to have a conference baseball tournament. But obviously that got put on hold because of the COVID last year. So right now, what is the thinking around the Pac-12 about having a Pac-12 baseball tournament?
Yeah, no, it was supposed to go, and then COVID hit, so we knocked that down. But the hopes are that we lock that in and get her going here for 22 moving forward. And yeah, I think, Scott, it's really important. If you look at all of the teams right now, for example, if you look at the SEC tournament that's going on, and it's all day long, and we're all glued to it, and people are talking about, well, if you can get 1 win or 2 wins here in the tournament, you're probably in. And I think the Pac-12, we all want to be in that conversation as well. Versus just if you happen to have a bye week your last week, or if you happen to have a conference weekend, and nobody's paying attention as much as people are paying attention to those conference weekends. And that's where a lot of movement happens. So I know moving forward, we're really excited to get it going. Obviously we wish we had it this year, but we also wish we had all the fans in the stands and to do that. So, but I know that moving forward, we're really excited about the opportunity to do it. And look forward to the announcement to do it, because the conference needs it, and all the big conferences show that it's a really important thing to have, and it can expand the number of teams that make it to the postseason.
One final question about the possible conference tournament. Are you guys looking at a specific location, like the SEC is in Hoover, Alabama every year? Are you looking at, or is the conference, are the coaches talking about moving it around to different locations, and one year be up in Pacific Northwest, another year be down south in California and Arizona, or are you looking for one specific location?
The conferences and coaches are looking at trying to find one specific location. I'm not sure how much more I can say on that. But I know that it would be one specific location would be the target and the goal, and somewhere, central to everybody that could get out there. So I know that that's certainly what is being talked about.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Okay. Thanks, Scott.
All right, last chance for questions. If you have a question for Coach Green, please raise your hand. All right, last one. One final one from me, Coach. You guys are at home, get your first Apple Cup, and you get to host it at Bailey Brayton Field. How excited are you to be able to finish the regular season at home?
We're really excited. Unfortunately, you want to keep playing, and we want to keep playing, but we're really excited about it. I know that we've, expanded a little bit of what we can do this weekend, and it just in terms of, where we are. I think Saturday, Bobby, I think at this point is sold out, is in terms of with the restrictions and the capacity that we have. So I think Saturday's game is sold out. It goes to show how hungry people are here in Pullman, particularly when the weather turns the way it is to come out and support baseball and support Coug athletics. So thank you and kudos to the fans, but Saturday is maxed out with the restrictions that we have. I think there's a few tickets left for Thursday and Friday. So we're really excited about that. And that'll be as cool of a thing as we can do, just in terms of maxing it out for our seniors as we look to senior day on Saturday. We'll do the best job that we can there with the families and showing the tribute that the seniors deserve. But I know Saturday, well, I know the whole weekend will be exciting. It's the Apple Cup, but you know, the word on the street is that we're at maxed out capacity for Saturday for what we can do. And that's really exciting. So thanks to the administration and the fans who want to come out and support. And if there's a few left on Thursday, Friday, at 3 o'clock Thursday, 3 o'clock Friday, and noon on Saturday, we'd love to see you out here supporting the Cougs. These kids have they've done a great job, and we're really excited about the upward trend that we're showing as a program.